Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither was my pantry organized in just one day. It took a couple of different tries, building upon good things. I ordered different products at different times, identified my new needs, adapted and adjusted. So am I through? I'm in pretty good shape, but I would be lying to myself if I said I was 100% done. It's always evolving, just like we are. So what I have done is brought all of my pantry videos into one long edition, so you can see how parts 1 and 2, and then the semi-final version where I share what everything cost me and the surprise about the cost. Then I had some subsequent purchases, like some beautiful canisters. I hope you enjoy these videos that I've strung together for you. Thank you for watching, and here we go. I feel like a hot mess today. I'm going to organize my pantry. Right now, I'm just in the planning stages and going to discuss what I want to do. And I have 2 pantries. One is here where that wreath is, and the other one is with my laundry room. So there's things in each that I want to switch around that make more sense as to what I access more, what I need to access more. I don't know how many times I've organized it and played around with it. So I'm still on the journey for what's going to work great for me. Come with me and I'll show you what I want to do. All right. So we're going to start down low. It's normally where I put drinks. I have some butternut squash I grew, some sweet potatoes. Covered up in that white cloth are some potatoes, white potatoes I grew. And I've got some storage. That's a tub of sugar for when I can. I need quite a bit of sugar for that. And so my onions really don't belong down there, but there are too many of them to fit where I'm going to put them. So I'm just going to go shelf by shelf. I have my shakes here, and that's normally where my blender goes as well. I've ordered some better containers for this and for the bags. I have all my sauces and oils and extras here. My husband's all about the spices. And then here's all my baking stuff, including plastic containers. I'm going to try to move away from the plastic and get into the glass. I've ordered a couple of glass ones, but I want the mouths to be wide enough that I can reach in and actually scoop stuff out. So I've ordered a couple from Amazon, and we'll see what those are like. And then I just switched over to these ball jars for crackers and nuts and dried cherries and so forth. And then I have an onion bin here and a sweet potato bin here. I think they've been working okay. I don't know that I'm going to leave them there. And then obviously trash cans. I have my apron hanging up there. And on the next shelf we have grains and pastas and oatmeal, all the kind of powder goods. And then I have a few canned goods. I just bought these that I really like from Walmart to organize those some. Then I have from farmers markets all kinds of jellies and jams. And then I have my sweeteners here, Cairo honey, maple syrup, all that kind of great stuff, cooking oils, extras up there for beans, olive oil, some more aprons. So all of those plates and plasticware, that's probably going to move to the other closet and pantry. And my brother surprised me with a couple of boxes of that. So that's why I have 3 boxes. I am going to have quite a bit of company, so hopefully I can use those up. I have some paper towels. And then I have some plasticware that whenever I send food home with friends or family, I have a way to give it to them. And I don't care if it doesn't come back, if those containers don't come back. Then at the very top, which I have to get to with a ladder, are some storage that I don't use all the time. And I think some of that can go into the other. And then because we live out in the country, I have extras of quite a bit of stuff. And they can stay there, I think, for right now. I do have a fire extinguisher and then a place that I collect my bags and then take them for recycling. So that is this pantry. And then on the door from the Container Store, I have my husband's barbecue seasoning, then gets into my baking, and most of those are my baking goods. So yeah, that's this closet. Okay, so this is my laundry room cabinets. And please, I'm doing laundry, so please cut me some slack. I told y'all I was a hot mess. But that up there, I want to move to my other pantry because I have a plug in there and I want to set it up where I can easily use it to preserve my food, or if I buy in bulk, that I can preserve it and without having to get a ladder and pull this down. I have quite a bit of like Mylar bags, laundry stuff, and on this side over here, which aren't those the most precious pulls? I think they're so darling. I just, you know, if you can't have some fun with some pulls, what are you gonna do? So over here I have light bulbs, some, you know, hangers and stuff. So this is kind of miscellaneous. I think I can clean it up and put some of those like plates and plasticware and stuff in here. That makes sense to me. And then I'm gonna come over, that's my freezer, which you can see I've tried to take inventory. That is not working. I'm gonna have to do something different. Everybody in the household has to cooperate, and that's not happening. And then I forget to mark things off as I take them out. So I'm gonna go to plan B on that. I just don't know what plan B is yet. And then this is my other little pantry cabinet. And I have more canned goods, some meats that we pressure canned, and then some canned meats and extras up here. And then down below, I have some equipment and I have some room to place some things there. And then these are extra spices and everything. So those are my reference points. You can see where I dry my herbs that I grow as well. These are all my canning spices and some peppers for when my husband makes his chili. And then I also make elderberry syrup. And so I have all of that stuff here. This is how I hang my lids. I actually got that idea from that 1870s homestead on YouTube. I have extra canning jars there, an extra tub. And then I like having these carts because they're on rollers and I can roll them in and out as I need to. So this is kind of like my active canning cart. It's things I use in here all the time. And then I have another cart where I've stored some of my other canning. Ice cream maker, canning pots, all kinds of stuff. That's kind of my what I call my canning closet. So I do have a lot of storage. It is just divided out pretty much, and I need to organize. So having just looked at all of my storage in my pantries, it's a bigger job than I thought. So I'm going to focus on the smaller one that's in my kitchen. And I know there will be a trickle effect because things have got to be moved in and out. But if I can focus on that first, I won't feel overwhelmed. So that's my plan. I'm going to wait for the things I ordered to come in, and then I'll tackle that. No, I don't know who I'm kidding. I'm going to tackle some of it tonight because I know I want some of it out of there. I'm afraid to get started because I'm going to make a mess. Ay. We have to start. One thing, like those plates and plasticware, I know can go into the other room, so I don't need them there. I'm going to get started. I'm willing it. I'm going to get started. I'm not going to show you the boring stuff, but I'm going to take the onions and the sweet potatoes out of their packaging and put them in my container and at least get that part done. Well, I called myself checking these onions before I bought them, but they have mold on them. So I will follow up with the grocer and see about getting credit. I think there may be 3 good ones in there. Terrible. I'm going to show you. I mean, this is terrible. Look at that. Terrible. Terrible. Some are not as big, but they're still bad. So the Cross Legacy, if you don't watch her, talks about storing your food in glass jars in the refrigerator. So I think I can like save some of this or pieces of it by going ahead and cutting them up and putting it into ball jars and then refrigerating them. I know I'm going to use a lot this coming weekend, so in the next 4 days. But it's disappointing. And I even felt of them if they were firm. I didn't look at the whole package. So anyway, mishap on my part. I'll see what I can do to rectify the situation. I just moved the crock pot that was on the floor into the other room. And I know that in here, I have these slow cooker liners. So I'm going to move those over there as well and kind of get that cleaned up. Get rid of little pieces of trash, all that kind of stuff. Okay. So the fantasy me thinks that I'm going to use these. These are covers for dishes. I've never used them. I love the idea of them. Even this. So I think they get lost where they are. So I need to find a new home for them. And if I don't use them in their new home, then I think they've got to go. So that's my logic. Does it sound? I don't know yet. We'll find out. So the covers I'm going to put up here because I think these are the dishes that I would probably use them for, or the ones that are in the corner. So we'll give it a try. And like I said, if I don't use them, then I'll donate them. I have progress. So I've put my bags and my foil, saran wrap, those kind of things in one of these tubs now. I'll put it that way so my husband can see all of it. It's not as easy to access, so thinking about decision making. But like I said, I've purchased a couple of things that I think will replace this bin and make it more organized. But in the interim, I just freed up one of these bins, so I'm happy about that. In case you haven't noticed, I am a novice YouTuber. I'm doing this in hopes that somebody who is also maybe struggling from a loss and trying to keep busy, that if you can relate, then great. I hope you don't have to relate because loss is no fun. But you can tell by lighting and my glasses, I have never worn contacts. So this is what I'm dealing with. Sorry about that. Thank y'all for your patience. But let's keep going, I guess. Here we go. My baking soda is old, but I'm not gonna just trash it. I can either put it down the sink with some vinegar and clean out that way I can add it to some laundry and help give it a cleaning boost. But I'm not gonna use it in baking. So these are a couple of that I'm going to use. One's open, one's not. But it's not money down the drain. They have multiple uses, so we'll benefit from it. Okay? Well, here's some progress. I've moved these bottles from over here, and you can see there's a notch for putting a plug through, and there's the plug down there. So I'm going to try putting this food saver in here now. You guys, this makes me happy. There's the food saver and the little containers. I think that's gonna work. That was my primary goal, So I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's progress, not perfection. I'm happy about that. Small wins, and I need them right now. Yes. I think I've been at this 2 hours, maybe, and I'm kind of done. At least for now. I've made progress. I'm happy with the progress, but I will pick it up again this week. So I'm going to show you what I've got. All right. Crock pot is in the other room. I have set this up, which I'm very excited about. I moved these around and condensed them. I'm going to have some organization here once my order comes in. I've cleaned out some things too that were smaller or expired. All of this will still need a little bit of work once I get some containers in. And I've put my oils in this. This is one that I had cleaned out from below. All of this stayed the same. And then I moved my jellies that were in this little turntable, and I put them up here because I don't access them enough to have them down low necessarily. And I put my grains and pasta up there where the rest of my legumes and grains were, so that makes sense. And I've got my, you can tell I'm tired because I can't think of my words. What is this? Blender. I have my blender, I can still reach it. It went from down below to up here. I left my baking kind of oatmeal and stuff here, and I moved those 3 boxes over here from the corner. And I've kept my napkins here because I do access them a lot. Yeah, I think other than a little organization, it is looking a little bit better, and I'm pretty happy with progress, but my goodness, it takes me a lot longer than I thought it was. So I guess it's good to plan for that next time. It'll look prettier once I get some labels on, and once I get some things that I ordered on and decide whether I want to order more of those or not. So for right now, this is what I'm working with. It's the next day and I feel accomplished after the work yesterday. The things I ordered did not come in today, so I think I'm just going to wait and do a part 2. Well, this is going to be part 2 of my pantry makeover. I got a couple of the containers that I had ordered for the sugar and the flour. So we'll get that in there, and then I'll show you what else I've done with some of the other things that were delivered. Well, let me show you what I got. I specifically wanted 2 that had the gallons. I had to search for that and it came up because I have the non-freezer type and then the freezer type. And then it's got 3 for either the quart size or snack size. So I have not attached it to the wall yet. I'm trying to decide if I like it there. I think I do. And then the other thing I got was, I took these out of the plastic bin I had them in, but I got these, which I had the plastic one already, but I got one for foil and I got one for parchment paper, and they're the chic wrap, reusable, refillable. And so they have where you can cut them with the slider, and I think it'll just make it a lot easier. I really like the plastic one, so I went ahead and changed that up. So the refills can be regular refills based on what I read. You don't have to necessarily buy their refills. So I'm also looking to see if I want a little shelving unit here that I could stack them, or if there's some other. So if you have a recommendation for that, I'm more than happy to listen to that. Then I also put my aprons here and a few napkins. My other napkins are up there, but you can see I just bought some, so they're kind of overflowing, and refilled my paper towels as well. So I'm really happy with that. What I'm going to change now is these. I've gotten, moved my stevia to there, And if I like what I'm doing for the flour and sugar, I'll get one for the almond flour as well. I'm trying to get rid of these plastic containers and try to get less plastic in my life. So I've done that for decanted the cornmeal and the brown sugar and the powdered sugar into the ball jars. I already had some in them, like chopped pecans and some swerve powder. So I had already done some of that, but this is just kind of bringing it to full circle and getting that done. So yeah, I'm happy with the progress, and I'm really happy with being able to get that in here. So let's decant. These are the glass containers that I purchased to put my sugar and my flour in, and they came from Amazon. So it came with 2 extra rings, those orange ones, but the clear ones were already on them. So they are heavy. That's probably the only negative to them if you're concerned about weight. I'm not, but my big concern was, or not concern, but like a criteria was I wanted a wide enough mouth to be able to reach in there and scoop out. The half-gallon ball jars make that a little bit more difficult, so these solve for that, and I think they'll fit my purpose. I'm trying to get away from plastic, and this is achieving it. Go get the flour and the sugar, and we're going to decant them into there and see what they look like. Light on the subject. So let's see if we can not make a mess. I'm going to do sugar, and I have more sugar than this, but we'll start off with this. I think this is going to be a lot easier than the flour. Okay, so this will easily hold a 4 or 5 pound bag. So happy about that one. I think. Yeah, I decided to put the label here on front because the marking for the sizes on the side, and it maybe wouldn't have sealed as well. So yeah, I'm happy with that. A little bit closer in. The flour, I thought about, do I use a funnel? Because it's gonna make a mess. And I'm not going to. We're just gonna deal with the mess. Whatever mess it makes. Just like that. And you gotta be able to laugh, right? You don't cry over spilt milk. Let's see, we're gonna try this. Because I don't have a funnel that's big enough. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It could have been worse. It could have been worse. It wasn't. Oh. Okay, let me get this cleaned up. And I'll show you what they look like in the pantry. All right, this is what they look like. You can see I have shelf space, so if I wanted to put that in front, I could double them up. I don't know that, because these shelves I think are 10 inches deep. I mean, they do, it kind of hangs over a little bit, but that would work if you needed some perspective. I don't know that I want to do that. So I will probably do that. And I use stevia in my iced tea. So I don't think I'm going to double them up with the gallon jars, but I'm good with this. And so I will probably go ahead and buy another one of these glass jars for the almond flour. And I'm going to decant my cranberries into a half-gallon ball jar. And these are stainless steel lids, so they're not the 2-piece, they're 1-piece, and they have the little like plastic insert. Let me show you. Eco Peaceful, and it's silicone, I believe. I got these off of Amazon. So I'm happy with those. A lot easier than dealing with the 2 pieces, especially when it's going to be something permanent like this. So I do recommend them. So I also have this plastic container.
that I have my raisins in, and I think my dates in. And why do I have them in there? I don't know, to contain them. Because they are in their own containers, right? But I think I'm going to take them out of here and maybe decant the raisins and leave the dates in their own packaging. So I also decanted my cranberries, and it's really hard because I probably need a different marker. But I put the month and year that the box or the bag says goodbye. So that's June 2025. And then similarly, I just did that with the raisins. I do need to get some more of these stainless steel lids, and I'll probably replace these plastic lids with the stainless steel, just for consistency and to try to keep removing as much plastic out as I can. For my crackers, I went ahead and put in the Ritz type crackers in their bags inside of this container. It's actually part of a set that I have that I got at a thrift store, and I have the others in my bathroom with my Q-tips and cotton balls, but that's where my crackers and nuts are. I've been making pecan pralines, so I just bought some of these from my neighbor, and this is going to be the final look for now until I decide to change something else. So I'm happy with it. I do have another set of these canned trays that I'm not sure that they will fit in here. So for now, they're in my other pantry. But I would like to fit them in here, but I'm not going to force it if it doesn't, so.
Organizing is serious business. It's not a game. It is. It's like Tetris. You're moving stuff around. It is a game. It may not be the Price is Right or the Wheel of Fortune, but it's a game. I bought 2 of these from Walmart. They're heavy. The plan is to put my pewter platters on one of them, say that fast 3 times, and move some things around. But I bought 2 of them. We're going to see how these go and whether I'm going to keep them or return them. Let's jump in. Let's open it. Ooh, it is metal, so I didn't want plastic. Interesting. I don't have the strength to pull that apart. Oh my goodness. You're a friend. So I'm not going to make you watch me totally unbox this. First impressions. This may be a little bit too sturdy for some of the purposes I need, but we shall see. So there are 6 of these dividers that are just normal. There are 2 that have little feet on them, and that is if you are going to lay this more horizontal, right? Where the pans are gonna lay on them. I'm not doing that. They do have suction cups also to put on the feet of these. I guess that's to help hold it in place. This is not my purpose. And so it also has these that if you are going to use them for your pans, they don't snap, they just sit right in there, right? They can come out. I think the lip on there is enough that if you wanted to use it for that, it should be fine. But that's not what I'm using this for. I'm wanting to use it for this right here, for my pans, for my platters. So I only need it to stand up like this. So I am going to put this together. I'm going to show you what I currently have in place that was kind of makeshift. And then I'm going to use this and show you if it's sturdy enough to handle the big pewter platters that I plan on using it for. Welcome back to my pantry. You should be pretty familiar with it. So let me show you what I've got going on. So down here, I have moved pewter platters. I have 3 of them and a big serving platter. And I kind of stole this from another location. And you can see how it's raised up over here because the weight of these, I think, is just a little bit too much. So I am going to switch those out and we'll see how the new one does. Have a sit with me and watch me watch me wrangle this. So it took me a minute, but this fits through there from the inside. But this one is not cooperating and it is not coming through all the way. And my problem is with my neck surgery, you don't realize how much your muscles of your neck get engaged when you exert energy or have to put pressure. So, because making faces helps. I don't know what's going on here. So I'm not sure the best way to approach this. And it seems, I'm going to try to show you, like I'm squeezing as hard as I can and pinching myself. I need to go one more notch. See, I'm too far back, or not far back enough. Come on. Okay. Now that one's in and okay, they're both in now. Goodness gracious. This is my biggest platter. It is a turkey platter and it is from the Wilton, Columbia, PA company. And I got all 3 of my platters. I've given them as gifts. I've got them off of either eBay or Etsy because I don't think they make them anymore. I highly recommend them, whether you're grilling veggies or cooking meat. It helps keep them warm longer. Because it has the feet on it, it can be kind of unruly where they are going to fall. Okay. This is not graceful. So I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This slot is where I'm going to put the next one. I don't know if that's right or not because the instructions don't give you information. Oh, that one went in easier, but I feel that in my neck. It is heavier for sure. Okay, let's see. I'm wondering too if it could come back one more notch. So we're going to do that. I didn't have it in the right hole on one side. I think it needs to sit at that angle and I think it's fine. It's fine. 4 empty slots in between the front and back. So I'm going to do the next couple and I'll bring you right back. I'm struggling. I can get one side in and then I can get the other side in. And I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere, but I also don't feel like it's in there securely. I'm going to take it off and try another one. Is this harder than I thought it was going to be? Or holy moly, who knew that this was going to be that challenging? Look at this. It's heavy duty enough that it can handle the weight of these and the sturdiness of these. It's not pulling up on it, so it's much better than that other one was. So I'm going to repurpose that other one. I think this would be great if you want to put your pans on this. It is a little bit of a fight, at least for me. Maybe somebody with stronger hands and no neck issues, you might have a better time of it. I do have one, the third one, that is still not sticking out all the way on this other side. But, I mean, it seems to be sturdy enough and not going to come out, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, one other thing is The very back piece I took off, and the one that has the little feet to it, this is the piece that I'm going to put up against the wall. So I'm going ahead, I don't think that these are going to do anything other than maybe prevent the wall from getting scratched. I will say the first one was pretty challenging to thread in there, but this should not be this difficult. Goodness. Okay, well, let me get it in place for you. I'm still twisting this thing. It doesn't have that far to go. Why is it not going in? Honestly, I am handy. I'm handy. I know how to do some things. But this sucker is not going in. I don't feel like I'm a very good spokesperson for this product. And I'm sure it is excellent. I'm going to go get a different, maybe I didn't have it threaded in there right. Let's try one more time. Please work. It does not want to go in. I'm going to go get another one. I'm not going to make you watch this. You know that song, I Fought the Law and the Law Won? I feel like I fought the organization piece of equipment and it won. I never did get that screw in right. It's in there anyway and it's fine. I'm happy with it. It's heavier. It is capable of handling these heavy trays. And so it suits my purpose. I feel like I'm in a locker room after a game and that I've been beaten, or halftime and I was losing. But by the end of the game, I was victorious. Decluttering and organizing is not for the faint of heart. I'm going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now. I'm going to put this lighter weighted one up there. Thumbs up. If you've had a tassel, a tumble with some kind of organizing equipment that's supposed to make your life easier, have a sit with me and watch me. Pantry update number 3. Here we go. I'm also going to show you the price that I paid for each one of my items and give you a total. I wanted to give you an update on my pantry, and it was looking great until my husband went shopping. You see all those crackers. I already had crackers in here, and here, and here, and here, and now I have all of this inventory, but that's okay. So I got my labels in, and so I've labeled my bins, which I can't believe how big of a difference that is. And then I think I also had pending the last time I gave you an update 2 more of these. One for the stevia and one for the almond flour. And those chips and crackers are in the way. And I had plastic lids on these, so I did order the stainless steel, and those are updated now. And I think that's the only changes that I had. Oh, no, it's not. I also got this riser in, and so it made use of this space here for me. And so I'm very pleased with that. And if you haven't gotten these cutters for foil and saran wrap and for butcher paper, I highly recommend those. I'm very happy with how the end product came out with the labels. It's amazing what labels can do for this. And again, these came from Walmart. I think they were like $6, but they contain like things, and I'm really, that seems to be the way I need to function. So that's the pantry, and I'll just remind you of my spices on the door. And that's where we are. I'm also going to show you the price that I paid for each one of my items and give you a total. Now keep in mind, I did not buy this all at one time. Some of the mason jars I already had on hand. I had bought some of the Walmart plastic bins over many months. So it wasn't a budget that hit me all at once. So I just wanted to call that out. So let's take a look and see what the prices are. The Ziploc storage container was $38. And it looks like it has a 10% promotion. Just keep in mind, I rarely pay full price for anything. I'm always looking for the sale. So I may have paid less. These little shelving units were $27.99. I did use one under the sink, but the other two are in the pantry. These Amazon labels were $9.99, and it is for 180 pieces. It did come with a marker. These can organizers from Walmart are about $36 each, and I ordered 2 of them. The wide mouth square jars were $34.99 each. That is the sale price I got for her, and I ordered 2, so that's another $70. But I did see at Walmart they have something similar that is a little bit cheaper, and that's what I would recommend you get. And the stainless steel mason jar lids were $24.99. I've ordered 2 of those, so that was $50. Let's see what else. These are the half-gallon mason jars, and they are going for $16.44 at Walmart. The 12 of the quart size go for the exact same price. And finally, my plastic bins were $6.36 each. One other note is if you see this H and 9 price changes, that is honey. It is an extension that you can add on, and it will tell you if there's a better price or any price drop and when the price drop happened. So I save a lot of money with that, and I mean a lot. So I'm back next day, looked at how much I spent, didn't like the number I saw, but keep in mind I spent it over a couple of months, and things like the ball jars I already had, but it came out to $374. Now it's given me peace of mind, and it's been therapy for me as I deal with the loss of my father, but there are many things in there that you do not have to have. You don't have to have those stainless steel lids. The other lids work just as fine. So that's $50 you can save right there. What else? Those can organizers. I looked for probably over a year for something that I liked. So I was willing to spend the price on those because I had looked for so long, and that's exactly what I wanted. But it's not a necessity. I would say of the things that I bought looking at this list, that the most helpful were those plastic bins from Walmart for $6 plus each, the labels that were $10, and the ball jars. But that again is a preference to try to use less plastic, and it's me getting them into glass. But those are about $17 for a dozen of quart or for 6 half gallons. And then those little shelves were $26. They made more room for me, gave me more space, so that worked. But the rest is a nice to have. It's not a have to have. So if you found products that you've liked better, please share below, and thank y'all. Thanks for joining for this short update, as my dad would always close his phone calls. Bye for now. Look what I got. at Walmart. Hi everyone, it's a Saturday. I had not planned on filming today, but hubby is on a little trip and I got a lot done. I finished trimming our fruit trees. I had one plum tree that needed to be finished up and did a little bit outside. I've come and paid some bills and cleaned up some paperwork that were action items pending. And I had bought some new items for my pantry from Walmart. This is the Pioneer Woman. There is a onion, a potato, and a garlic one. So I'm gonna cut the wrapping off of these and wash them, get them dried, and put them into the pantry. And then I'm gonna piddle. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to tell you, look at this cute, and it's got pockets. Little apron. My friend, who also has a YouTube channel, and hers is called My Little Realities, she shared a link for one of these, and they have different patterns, but I had to get one, and I have to say, I love it. I love it. I have the old-fashioned aprons, but this was very well made. I like the material. It has adjustable straps on the back. Yeah, it's a good day. Come along with me. This is where I currently have onions, and you can see one of them is growing back there. And the sweet potatoes. So these are Tupperware actually, and they're all right. They're not as pretty as those other ones. So I'm hoping I can fit them in here. I did have in this corner right here boxes of trash bags, so I might need to find another home for those or make some room for those. But this is where those are going to go. I'm going to wash them up and we'll get them in place. They have the little breathing holes at the bottom of each of them. And I thought they were so gorgeous that I needed them. I had something for the garlic, but it was so small and it hardly held any of them. So let me show you what I have and where these are going to go. So before I wash them, I just wanted to put them in here for a dry run. And they're not the most efficient use of space. So you can see there's going to be a lot of wasted space here, here, and behind here. But sometimes you have to sacrifice for beauty. I mean, I could do that and I regain a little bit of space. So it just, you can't see it as well. And they need to be seen because they're pretty. They make my heart happy. While I take this off, I just want to share, my husband just retired. He is retired law enforcement, and he was working 2 hours away and stayed there in our camper 4 nights a week, and then came home for 3-night weekends. I was so used to having my 4 days or 4 nights alone, and it was so nice being independent. And it was nice welcoming him back home, enjoying him, and then having alone time again. It was like the best of all worlds. He's home all the time now. He's taken a rare little weekend trip with and for a friend. And today's my day. I have a free day. I love him dearly. I've missed my alone time. Do I have anyone who can relate with me? Please tell me yes. I think distance is healthy because when you reunite, it's just that much sweeter, right? That's our story and we're sticking to it. Let's get these cut off and washed. Oh my goodness, these are so cute. They're ceramic. I know they are hand wash only, and they're just precious. So I'm looking forward to using them. Let me get these washed up. I'll bring you back around. I want to share with you something I don't like about these lids. I just washed this first one. It doesn't have a rubber grommet around here. So if it gets hit, it will probably chip, and we'll see how long these last. And then if you can see, there is a big lip around there that is gonna be a little bit of a challenge to dry, and somebody with big hands is not gonna be able to get in there and really get it dry. I haven't seen that before. It's quite interesting. So anyway, I just wanted to call it out because if it's something you might be interested in, that's a little, see, and I just went around it. I can still see droplets in there. I think washing these and making sure they're really dry. I may need to use a paper towel to just make sure there's no moisture. There's still some in there. There you go. I do have a dishwasher, but when it's only a few dishes, I don't mind doing them by hand. I do have the stopper in here, so the water just keeps building up, and what do they call it? Wago, wash as, or Wago, wash as you go. I think firemen do that, or firemen in firehouses do that. That's where I heard it from. We'll let those dry, and then we'll get those set up in the pantry. I'm ready to put these in, but I'm thinking we don't get into these all of the time. So I think I'm going to move his voluminous amount of crackers and chips down to this end and then put these where those were. I think that makes more sense, and we'll see how it goes. You know, one other thing is there's a woman who talks about making your food last, and her YouTube channel is The Cross Legacy, and she says not to put your potatoes near your onions. I may end up separating these and have the garlic and the potatoes next to each other, and then have the onions, I think 3 to 6 feet away is what she recommends. If you haven't checked out her channel, I recommend it. She has a wealth of knowledge. She's had a TED Talk. She just had a book come out. We get into onions more, so I'm going to put onions all the way against here, and then the potatoes and the garlic where the crackers are. So this is going to go in this corner because we access those. I'll need to post a question to the Cross Legacy to see if the garlic can go next to the onions or the potatoes, because I'm not 100% sure. Right now, I'm going to put them near the onions because we will use garlic the most as well. And I don't think I'm going to get rid of those other 2 containers because I could potentially put white potatoes or other smaller root vegetables in those on the floor away from the others. So I'm not quite ready to declutter them yet because I think they could still be useful. Okay, let me move these crackers and nuts and everything down. I know if I do this, then you're not going to get to see that pretty potato container very much. It has to be utilitarian, and my husband would appreciate what we're doing versus the visual that I'm going to be giving myself. It's okay. I'm telling that to myself. This one's heavy. Can you see? It's right there. It's still cute. I can handle that. I'm still happy with it. I like it. So we'll see how they perform, how the vegetables or root vegetables stay inside them, and make sure they're dark enough, have that airflow, but I'm excited to see how they work. The last thing on my to-do list was going to be to take this shelf and drop it down one peg and see if my mixer might fit in here. My pressure cooker is in the back now. It was down below here, and the crock pot fits there. So with this mixer, it didn't fit on the top shelf. After I lowered the shelf, it still didn't fit. So it is in here now, and it freed up some space in my kitchen pantry because I had the mixer on the floor in there. So that makes me happy, a little bit more usage of space. So this weekend the time changed. My dad is the one that used to always call me and remind me. And this is the first year he hasn't been around to do that. I miss that. But it's another memory that just reminds me how loving and caring and detail-oriented he was. Thanks for watching. As my dad always closed his voicemail messages, bye for now. How many times have you cleaned out your pantry, reorganized your pantry in your lifetime? A lot. How many times have you searched for solutions to make your pantry work for you and not against you? A lot. You are not alone. I updated the shelving of my smaller laundry room pantry for under $50 with some plywood and with a surprising type of covering that was not contact paper. Hi everyone. What we are going to do today is we are going to take my laundry room pantry and we are going to add 3 more inexpensive shelves to it. I did not want to pay the price of the cabinet maker to make me 3 more shelves. That I do not like to stack my canned goods on top of each other. You'll see that I don't keep the rings on the lids, and stacking them might give me a false seal and could make people sick. I don't want to do that. I have been looking for a solution for that pantry, and I told you in my previous video that I'd share my solution with you. That's what you're going to be seeing. I'm going to look different in the actual footage because it was over the weekend. I had help, thank goodness. You will be hearing their voices but not seeing them, as I was being respectful of their privacy. It is definitely a DIY makeshift solution, but I am very pleased with how it came out. So please join us. Let's get into it. These are the pieces of wood that we are going to make into shelves. I thought I was buying contact paper, but this ended up being wallpaper. And this is what we're going to use to cover those shelves to make it look a little bit nicer.
Well, it's gonna go around the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I was planning on it.
Double. I'm not
Oh,
gonna,
underneath too?
yeah, I'm not gonna cut it there because we're gonna go.
You're gonna flip it over. So then should we tack it, go ahead and peel it and tack it there and then
I'm gonna
wrap
say
it?
tack it and then try to peel it now and pull out before you.
Yes, before the other
You're
side.
gonna want like your Pampered Chef, your brown thing, or something like the vegetable scoop wrapper that you can use as your, get the air bubbles out.
Oh, I do have that. Well, Hunter was gonna go look and see if we had a plastic paint one that you can like do that too, but
Oh, like the putty thing you mean?
yeah. Yeah, we're on the edge here.
About here.
Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, now it's a little bit over, but it's not square anyway, so.
Okay. Well, we'll just cut that one. As long as it's all covered at least.
And then, yeah, instead of poking a hole with, what did it say? To
Yeah, poke a hole.
poke a with a needle or a knife. I'm glad y'all are here to do this because I was nervous to do it by myself.
Easier with two people, I'll tell you that.
Definitely.
I do these to all my cabinets when we move.
Oh, you do? With contact paper or wallpaper? We accidentally ordered wallpaper.
Working just fine.
Well, and I think it's thick enough too. I think that looks pretty good. And this is an economical way to do it because if I got the cabinet makers to make them, they would be very high priced. And we already had this wood for another project. It was just a matter of buying contact paper wallpaper. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's definitely, I think, a two-person job. Do you think we should put this down on this edge now?
Yes, we can. I might want to flip it.
How's that gonna work when you're gonna go around? You're just gonna go over top that one?
We may have to
Which is
cut.
the top. If you're gonna bring that around, you would want that to be up if this is the top. So it's rounded on the top part. Or it doesn't matter.
I don't think it matters. Oh, it's going to be longer too. Yeah, it'll wrap all the way around. I think we'll have to cut like a V in here.
And then seal it down.
Yeah. It is like wrapping a present. I'm going to go get scissors too.
I want a little lip. Maybe we'll just do it that much now since we're gonna overlap it. So just one square overlap, like that. And
Probably
then,
go 2 squares just to make sure it doesn't peel up.
okay, so let's mark this. Okay, that's our,
21, the boards are 21 by 21 and we wrapped the full length around. Now we're doing 2 pieces to finish it. So 1 roll per board is basically what we're doing. And we'll have a little bit left over.
yes.
And this is women's technique.
It's resourcefulness at its finest.
That's right.
Don't judge.
Right? Now start from here with a new piece from here all the way to here to the edge where you cut it last time.
Maybe on the next one, because right now you're gonna try to match this. That would look funky.
And my,
This is the bottom? The top? The pretty side? We should say the pretty side and
the pretty side and
the
the,
not visible side.
yes, that's a good way of putting it.
Okay. Now is it over far enough to get your lip?
Yep.
You're not matching it, right? Are you overlapping or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get it all out the bubbles now.
When I start these projects or y'all start these projects, I always think, oh, it'll just take like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Never.
Yeah, look at that. She almost got the same color and the same.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to invest a lot to make this happen. You just need friends.
You just need there you go.
It's like my painter's tape. You got to make sure that glue gets so it doesn't start-
Activated. So we're
It makes the seal just like you do on painter's tape. If you don't get it down, then
okay.
the paint gets underneath the painter's tape.
It seems like this is a good quality.
I think so. Hasn't lifted up yet, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, I agree.
You can't tell it's a seam
Nope.
because you got the brown.
No, you can't. Good job.
All right. So the pretty side
That's the good side.
is done.
Are y'all perfectionists?
No, not at all.
Okay, good, because I'm not either.
No, we totally are. We like to claim that we're not, but really we are.
When it comes to this kind of stuff,
Because apparently it's bad to be, but the OCD kicks in after a while.
It depends on what it is, right?
Being super type A would knock me out of my fun crowd, so I gotta like balance the two. Gotta-
did you measure over here?
Yeah, it's getting... Are we crooked? Because it's getting shorter, it looks like. So we might come off of the board. I mean, I think it's fine because this is going to cover it, but I think we're okay.
I'm still on the board here. It's just less than the other side, I think. Maybe my scissor lines weren't as straight as I thought. I feel it. This is the ugly side though, right?
Yeah,
So
and
that'll
this will wrap
it.
over it, yeah.
So we're okay?
Yeah, I think we're okay. I'm sure it's their lines are crooked and not your skill. So it's, you did a cut here, and then folded the flap under.
Just
Yeah,
like wrapping people.
that's what I did on the other one, so that's perfect.
It's like you're wrapping a gift for your canning self.
That's right. It would have been so frustrating to try to do this by myself.
You'd have to have a lot more limbs.
That looks awesome.
And then you can get a close-up of the edge.
Yeah, and so this is the back edge, so we didn't cover that one. We only covered the other three sides. Yeah, that looks
The lighting
great.
is in here.
It looks really good.
It really does.
And I can't even see the seam.
On a dime. All right.
I'm so excited. This is making me very happy. How dorky is that? Does anybody else get excited about your pantry? Because I am. Here's the final look at the pantry. I went ahead and reorganized this so I could keep the taller cans and taller jars in here for the most part. So I have my canned meat, bought cans of food, more canning because I'm trying to keep them on this thicker shelf. My very few jams that I have left, because I've given so many away, are legumes and beans, chicken, and then the items that I have up here, which are extras or specialty items. I am done with organizing it. I will wait to repurchase when that row of items gets down to just one or two. And that way I can bring those to the front and put the newer ones in the back. And that solves my concern of first in, first out. And I think that that will be my plan. I think the only other thing that I've thought about doing is maybe putting labels here, because there might be some odd cans in the back. So
I think I have some purple whole beans back there as well. So I don't want to forget that they're back there. So I think my solution for that is going to be to put labels. I know this was not my normal video because my friends came and helped on the weekend, but it accomplished what I wanted, and I'm so happy to do that. Things off of the to-do list make you feel so good. So I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and as my dad always closed his voicemail messages, bye for now.
Hi, it's your dad. Bye for now.